Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. I am Kapualani, and this is your timeless tarot reading. So, whenever you're seeing this, as always, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. Now, we're going to go ahead and continue to open the space by a chiming of my tuning fork. So, I just invite you to gently close your eyes, connect to your breath, breathing deeply in through the nose, set some goals, some intentions, call in your guides, your higher self, your ancestors, your higher power. And as you exhale, releasing anything and everything no longer serving your highest, greatest good, while also giving thanks, gratitude, and appreciation to all whom you've called in, as well as each other and ourselves. All right, here we go. Let's open space. All right, so let's just dive into things, shall we? So, Spirit, what do we need to know? Who is this message for? What message is coming through? Knight of Wands. Okay, so you may feel this, I don't know why, but things may be moving very swiftly for you. I get this feeling of potential restlessness. um Maybe there's travel, maybe there has had to some kind of a quick action that you've had to take recently, or if that isn't something that's kind of happening right now, you could be fire sign or have some fire sign influence. We have Leo, Sagittarius, Aries there with that Knight of Wands as well. I'm more present to things moving swiftly. I'm also present to things picking up. Where you may have initiated something, started something up, there's progress that's being made. There's more of a willingness to put yourself out there, or at least that's what's being called for. So, Spirit, give us a little bit of elaboration on this Knight of Wands energy. What is this Knight of Wands communicating? What is it emphasizing? Okay, so we've got the Seven of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands. So, like I said, something may have been initiated. Okay, and we're making progress. Seven of Pentacles. So it sounds kind of like work in progress here that I'm present to with these energies. Something is going to be like re-empowering you, or there's going to be this opportunity for you to empower yourself, especially when it comes to something you've already been working on. I also get this sense of evaluation. You may be reevaluating something. This may have been something that is in the recent past. Okay, just keeping this in mind here. But you should be feeling a sense of accomplishment. Okay, with whatever it is that you're moving through, or that you're looking at. I feel like, let me just kind of slow down here. Something has shifted recently that's giving you pause, to look at life, yourself, your circumstances from a new perspective. Almost like, I don't want to say like a whole new lease on life, but there's a spark of creativity when we have the Ace of Wands. What is this Ace of Wands bringing? What is it initiating? We almost saw that full energy popping out. So definitely new way of seeing things, of doing things, saying yes to something. Celebrations, Three of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles. Something new is starting, and it should be something that will be bringing you some joy. It could be that there were things that you have been working on, or that you're needing to work on, but that ultimately it's going to bring you into this space of how should I put this? I feel that it deals with progress, being able to have some positive progress in a way. Um, you do have support around you. There are people who want to celebrate you, and maybe they themselves are feeling sort of similar in terms of being on similar, same pages themselves with where you are in your life in everybody's own individual way. Um, I feel like whatever it is that you're going to be moving into, there's going to be good news. Good news is underway. Good news is coming. I feel maybe you're the one who's going to have good news to share, like a new lease on life or something like that is part of what I'm seeing. But there's definitely a new cycle that you're going to be opening up to. This could be related to work or health. When we have the Page of Pentacles, wealth and health, they go hand in hand, right? Wealth is health, health is wealth. And so with this Page of Pentacles, I feel like there's also this willingness and this openness to learn how to do things in a new way. Whether it's how you're caring for yourself, the type of food that you're eating, exercises, that kind of thing, or if it has to do with a skill or a trade that you're learning or investing yourself into. You could be, I feel like this deals with investing yourself into something for the future, whether it's about your career moves, whether it's about building a home, whether it's about self-care. Okay, those are more to the core of the themes that I'm seeing here. Something may have caused you to have to shift gears, to take some type of a swift action in terms of, again, reevaluating how you've gone about doing the stuff that you're doing. And in reviewing, in reflecting, in taking into consideration, okay, who, what, and who and what are worth my time, energy, and value, where I've been investing myself, my time, energy, and value. Is the juice worth the squeeze? How can I change things up? How can I do things better? What maybe have I been wasting my time on? What have I just kind of, you know what I mean? Things of that nature in terms of the review aspect with the Seven of Pentacles, and then giving us a space to say, have an aha kind of a moment and be like, oh, okay, I see. If I do things this way, then you know what I mean? It'll save me time and energy and effort of the way that I was doing it. So, something about whatever it is that you've been reflecting upon, or whatever it is that pulls you into a space of looking back and analyzing how you've been going about doing what you're doing, and the results, based on the results or lack of results. Okay. When you're working toward a goal, there's some kind of, again, a realization or an aha moment that says, oh, okay, now you know what I mean? There's something, and it's going to be a positive energy. I feel like I don't know why, but I'm getting this energy of like a new lease on life. So Spirit, talk to us here. What are the deeper core messages? We got the High Priestess. I feel like this card wants to be seen, so I'm going to pull that out. The Two of Swords. Interesting with that High Priestess energy. I feel like, okay, Spirit's like, this is just a note. The Two of Swords is it's a note. We're going to put this one back in a moment. Pull this one out too. Okay. Whatever this new cycle, new seed that you're planting, or whatever it is that you're looking at in terms of shifting things in a lifestyle sort of way, potentially, or taking a step into just a new way of doing things and of seeing things and whatnot. It will take a little bit of time. This High Priestess is holding that vision and being open and ready for the opportunities to be revealed. There is this energy with the High Priestess of honoring your position. Like, often when I see the High Priestess, what comes to my mind is, I'll know it when I see it. So if there are certain things that you're checking out, like for example, trying to look for a job or house hunting or rentals or whatever it is, or, should I be looking at different, okay, I want to be a healer, but which healing path is right for me? Or, you know what I mean? That kind of a thing. You put it out there to the universe, and now just allow the universe has received your request. Now it's like, let the universe do its job. Okay. You've got something, you've got some kind of a knowing or clarity about something already, but it's like it could also make you feel a little bit stuck and powerless at the same time, because the vision of what it is that you're holding space for may be much further along than where you are physically with developing that vision. You know what I mean? And so there's something that I feel in the background. There's a number of layers all at once, all the time, right? But what I'm present to is there's something in the backside of a longer term vision, something maybe that you've been holding space for or working toward as best as you can. But then there's something else that emerges in the meantime as a potential offshoot or a branch it's something of a new direction. Okay, but it's almost like you're having to balance both of those sides. You know what I mean? Both of those worlds. You have to maintain and sustain what it is that you're currently doing. It's kind of like when you are working at saving up money, or you know what I mean, and you have your regular job and you're saving money, and then all of a sudden you have this really great idea for a potential side hustle, and you're like, okay, cool, great, but now that I got to get that build up before I can just walk away from my 9 to 5 job. I want to get this side hustle built up a little bit. So that's that high priestess of like, we're having to kind of walk between the worlds in a way, or like maneuver between the worlds in order to get that 9 of cups, what it is that you're wanting. And there's certain things that I feel like you're in some ways, it's like there's two different realities that we're trying to get on the same page here. Like, I don't know, that just kind of seems like it came out of nowhere, but spirit, let's get some emphasis on this high priestess. What secrets or what influence, what knowledge, what psychic stuff or whatever it is, what is the message from the high priestess? What is this high priestess protecting or predicting is what I'm getting. There's something that's being protected, predicted. 6 of Swords. So, yeah, some type of movement, transition that is underway. Okay, there's something that is in motion. And again, there's that peaceful transition. Remember what I was saying? It feels like there are maybe 2 different layers of things that are going on right now. And, it's like your inner world and your outer world. Like, let's just keep it that simple as well. But things are in a state of motion, and if you do feel like things have been up in the air, or that you know what I mean, like or that you're feeling a little bit stuck in any which way, it's going to get moving. Things are going to get moving. Okay. There may be some type of a relocation that you're thinking about, something that you're thinking of transitioning into, from and into. And it's funny because didn't I really like say that? I'm like, you have your 9 to 5 job and then you have this side hustle, but maybe you want that side hustle to be your main source of income here. And so that's what it is. We're trying to make this transition, but we're having to keep certain details to ourselves because we're not as far along, or we don't, you know what I mean? Those steps haven't yet revealed themselves. We haven't quite hit that space of progress just yet. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It means that while we're in the earlier stages of things, we got to kind of just keep certain details to ourselves right now, allow for the steps to reveal themselves so that we can take the steps as they kind of present themselves, as well as trust our instincts, trust our own intuition to take the action, to align, you know what I mean, to apply ourselves. So there's something here um that I feel like you are making progress. You are seeing progress. There are certain details that may not be entirely clear to you, but you're going to have to trust your instincts about. There are certain things that have not yet been revealed. Don't let that stop you from continuing to do the footwork in the meantime, okay? Because there is a new reality that you're holding space for. And a shift that you're holding space for. So, and you're on the right track, but it's again, right now, it's about emerging of those realities, building up of something while keeping something else going. Okay, is a lot of just what I'm getting here. So, if this is your first time joining us, I hope that these messages have been inspiring. There will be a part 2 to this. You can find the link in the comment section or in the description box below. It's at kapualani.com/extensions. I'm going to pull from my animal spirit guide stack here in a moment. or right now. And so in this part one, I will be just giving my downloads. We're going to read from the actual Animal Spirit Guidebook in part two, as well as go deeper into these messages. We're going to pull out more tarot cards for the part two. I'm also going to give us some space to ask yes, no questions with the angels. So our angel oracles, we've got angel answers and the romance angels. And as I always say with the romance angels, it doesn't have to be about love. It can be about any area of interest that is really taking front stage for you right now. Okay. So let's see what animal spirit guides have a message for us, what the message is from the animal spirit guides. Thank you. Okay. Animal spirit guides. Give us a little bit of insight here. Thank you. Almost. I think that was dragonfly, but let's keep going. There we go. I had it in my mind's eye. Did I manifest this? Or was I predicting it? I saw an egg. We've got black egg. Possibility, potential. Limitless possibility, potential. Every time I see these the black egg card, I always think about that 1,000-year-old egg that you eat, but it's something that it's like it marinates over a period of time, and it's like amazing apparently. Or some kind of a delicacy. But with this black egg, I feel like again, this deals with, and we'll see what the book says, but I'm picking up on untapped potential and an opportunity that has yet to be revealed. Okay, with black egg energy here. And there's, eggs represent fertility and life. I feel like, how should I put this, spirit? Let me kind of tune in here. There is, okay. This brings me back to what I was saying with the spread, at least the messages that I'm present to in terms of things, again, being in a state of development. Maybe you're not exactly where things are not exactly as you would like for them to be, as far along as you would like for them to be. But that's not to say that they're not exactly where they're supposed to be, which sounds silly and maybe a little bit what's it called, obvious or typical. But I feel like with this black egg, there is, again, I'm just getting the same thing on repeat, untapped potential. And I feel like it's going to take a little bit of time for you to fully develop your sense of, like with the high priestess, and that representation of that not everything is as it appears, that there are certain elements of things that are hidden. That's what I mean with this black egg. Even if you have what you feel is a very clear idea or vision of the future, there's so much more behind it, or part of it that is needing time to time to develop. It needs time to develop in the background, is what I'm getting. Because we often forget, right? When it comes to manifesting, when it comes to co-creating, um there are people out there that you will never meet, that are going to, what I mean, have some kind of an effect or ripple effect or impact on your manifestation, whether it's a person at the grocery store, or the person at the local hardware store, if you're building a house, you know what I mean, like that kind of thing. Someone was having a bad day, so it ended up chipping your countertop, is like, just like stuff like that is what I'm getting to. So that black egg, unrealized, untapped, undeveloped potential that is coming into being. All right. So I'm going to close up here, and I invite you to my website to schedule your session, kapualani.com, if you would like to schedule a session of your own. And as a reminder, the part two to this reading, it's a pay what you can. Okay. So when you go there, it's anything from like $1.11 is what I suggest onward. So it's very little to no risk if you're interested in exploring what that is like. But I will see you in part two, or I will see you next time. Take care. Thank you so, so much for being here.